What we want to demonstrate in this video is how you properly get into the C shape for the exercises that would involve the hundreds and the 5 stomach series exercises that you will be doing. It's really important to understand how you get into the C shape because that's the setup for those exercises. So we're going to demonstrate that now with Amber. So we'll start, Amber, by float one knee up over the hip and feel how the weight of the femur sinks the pelvis into the mat, anchoring your hips, and then float the other leg up. Now there's a couple of ways you can do this. Interlace your hands and place your hands like a cradle to the base of your skull and just let your head rest in your palms here for a second, okay? Now notice that when your elbows are back, your shoulder blades are gliding in toward your spine. If you bring your elbows forward a little bit, notice how the shoulder blades broaden across your back, giving you a little bit more space to breathe and opening up your back a little bit more. So everybody's going to be a little bit different. The angle is going to be appropriate for everybody a little bit differently. So just play with where you feel the most space without over-contracting into the front of the chest. Now from there, allow the head to really rest in the palms of your hands and to feel that you're surrendering the weight of your head to your hands. So that now when you inhale, your hands are going to come to meet the back of your head and just float it up just an inch and feel yourself hovering there, just an inch off the mat. Soften your gaze and just kind of allow yourself to kind of see the room and periphery. Keeping your eyes open is important because it allows you to sense if you have tension in your face, if you're starting to feel tension in your jaw. Now, we're going to take another breath in and feel the expansiveness of your ribs, and as you exhale, soften the ribs down, and that's going to curl you up. And let your eyes float down your nose, through your legs. And that's also where you're looking is going to be really important too, because if you're looking up towards the ceiling, which is what we always tend to do, it's going to just tilt our head back enough, which is going to create an extension in the neck when you're trying to curl forward, versus a lengthening in the neck. There you go. So she can even use her hands and kind of draw that length out a little bit while allowing the chest to soften down. And just feel the weight of the head drop back into your hands. So a little bit less. There you go. You almost want to feel like you're sinking more into your spine, which is going to give you the float up. So rather than trying to pull up from the front, allow yourself to just hover back a little bit. Right. There you go. When we shake, we could be putting too much into it. That's not to say that shaking is a bad thing either, okay? It just really depends where you're coming from. So now just take a few breaths there and feel how your breath is allowing you to mind getting comfortable here and releasing any extraneous tension in the front of your throat, in your jaw, even in your tongue. Examine how are you holding your tongue. Is it like really hard in your mouth, pushing up into the roof of your mouth, or is it just gently sitting in the front third of your palate towards the front teeth, gently sitting there, right? Yeah, that's it. Reaching down, beautiful, release down. Okay, that's one modification. So that's when you use your head in your hands, you get to feel how that connects you through the back of your shoulder to your deep belly. We call that shoulder blade to belly, and that's like a hammock, if you will, coming underneath you, giving you that support, okay? Now we're going to do it with our hands to the back of our thighs. This is another option for you, okay? So as you rest your hands in the back of your thighs here, let your hands be soft versus holding tensely the legs. That's going to soften the shoulders, which is going to allow her to open up her collarbone here. And then she'll be able to get more in touch with what is the back of her arm, giving her this sensation of shoulder blade to belly here. So if you just allow the weight of the legs to rest into your hands a little bit more, but you don't give too much from the elbows, soften the elbows out a little bit. The heavy elbow is going to also give you the drop of your shoulder blades. So now, imagine the hands behind your head as you just tilt the head, looking down like you're tipping your cap. And then exhale, you follow the breath up, and just feel how your spine sinks down. So here's a good opportunity to just kind of let the head rest back a little bit. So one of the things we tend to do here in this exercise is we lead from the face. Okay, you can see it doesn't even look good. doesn't even look comfortable, even to somebody who's not familiar with this. You can see that there's a lot of tension. So I'm going to give her a little reset here. Let her drop her head into my hands, and notice how all of this softens down. So as the chest starts to soften down, so too the ribs start to sink down and soften superficially her upper abdominals. But deep, she's got a really nice deep support coming up the front of her spine, from her feet all the way up her inner thighs, all the way up to her inner ear, which is right back here, and giving her nice length in her spine, out the crown of her head. So just feel the weight of your head a little bit more. There you go. And just keep following your breath. So just allow an easy breath. If you get too hard and heavy with the breath, then things start to get tensed up again. So just kind of follow the natural breath movements. Soften the elbows a little bit more. That's going to give you a little bit weightier shoulder blades. These are all just, this is so fine tuning. This is all that is. And then she's hovering, and then she reaches her arms along the sides of her legs, and she's beautiful, ready for the hundreds, and rest. Good. That's it. Thanks so much. Hope that helps for your next series coming up. All right.
Thank you, Sybil.
Thank you, Amber. That was great.